Yeah. So, since you mentioned about climate change, because I know up in the north, climate change is a very critical issues and also very critical realities that you are encountering now. So, could you also give us an example, like how can you reflect this kind of global challenge within your school system? I mean, like maybe to prepare the students with their knowledge on reindeer herding, when here comes the era of climate change, and that changes the environment dramatically, and that of course affects the reindeers. So is there any kind of reflection of that within the school curriculum?
Yes, it is, and we have also started programs together with researchers, so that our students, they travel to places where researchers talk about climate changing, and then they take part. And I believe that's very important for the young people, because we didn't learn that as we went to school. But now they get it. So they are better prepared for the future. And Sami University has reindeer husbandry, and you can take master in reindeer husbandry. So it's possible to give them something.
Right. Okay. So like with all the school system, you are also adjusting to what is going on in the world now, and also, of course, specifically the global challenge, the impact, the impacts on Sapmi.
And we also put it in the local curricula.
Okay. So with the local communities, you mean the local curriculum?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Because well, maybe it might be my final questions for you, for both of you now, because you are working in the education, first relevant to education, and also with education it's very important to push for our self-determination as Sami, as indigenous person. And so I would like to ask that for you, through your work, what would be the maybe you can give us an example. How can we push for self-determination and push for sovereignty through different school systems or education from the educational perspective?
As I said, our school is state-run.
Yeah.
And the Norwegian Parliament has ratified ILO convention. And this causes them to fund education on every level in the school system. And I believe that's very important for us. We know we have lack of teaching materials, but it's our work to make them.
And when we work with the curriculum and teaching aids, then we try to, for example, social science. I have seen books written of researchers who don't know the Sami communities, and they have the main society perspective. But when we work with social science, we tell about our SIDA system, our social system, extended families, and how we used to work together and try to empower them to remember and take it with you, because you can be lost very fast when you are a minority. So we work a lot with that. Try to remember, and then the language is so important, because we have words, for example, SIDA. We have the SIDA system, and you don't know what SIDA system is, but it's our way to organize, and also the land use running by families, and we take responsibility for the animals and for the fishery and in our own, but it isn't visible in the main system, but we have it still. And we learn our students that it's still there, and we are going to develop it and try to give them opportunity to develop themselves, because traditional knowledge isn't like conservative. You have to have the knowledge and pass on the knowledge and the skills our ancestors has developed for centuries, and also look at the global, have the global perspective, that the ecosystem, each ecosystem is unique, and our ecosystem it's only there, and we have words for every activity, a lot of words. For example, only a tree. You maybe see, if you come to our area, okay, it's a birch, and you classify it, birch has leaves, but we know how you use each part of it. For example, bark, you can scrape it and do baby powder of it.
Really?
you can tan skin, and you have also the branches, and then you can have it as bedding, underlay, when you sleep on the ground. And you know also about the wood, how you can use it. Is it hard enough to do a kettle of it? And you know also which firewood is best to use, when, which season. The seasons are very important. And it was only example. So we have a lot of such examples. You go deeper and deeper and find out, okay, it's a lot of skills there.
Yeah.
It isn't only the forest or the trees. In the Western system, you have to have a lot of names. You are going to, yes, I know, birch, juniper. We don't talk in that way. We try to go deeper.
Right. Okay. Because I was in Sapmi for a couple of times, and also I met a lot of Sami people. And every time I try to learn about the SIDA system that you say, but the thing is, it's very comprehensive. And every time when I ask people, I got different knowledge from different people. But I think that's the way it is, because as you said, traditional knowledge is not just for preserve, it's actually for us to live in this knowledge, to apply this knowledge in our daily lives. And that's why the SIDA system is difficult for an outsider like me to understand, but for you it's nature, because that's how you live your daily lives, right?
That's a part of our life.
Yeah. I would really like to visit Sami again to learn more about SIDA. And also, I was so fascinated when I was there, because people, the reindeer herders, they told me that it's very easy for them to tell this reindeer belongs to whom, because they can tell. I was like, okay, I don't understand how you can differentiate the reindeers. But still, so there's a system like that, and that's something the students or the younger generation will learn, not only from schools but also from their daily lives, right?
The air.
Yeah.
Yes, we're so happy we have a living off the land for centuries, and we are still in a remote, as they call, remote area. And then we still have a lot of traditional knowledge, traditional environment knowledge, ecological knowledge. And I think it's so important in the future. We have the challenges with the climate change, and then it's all the indigenous peoples have the connection to the land still, and a lot of knowledge, and it's useful in the future, useful now. Right. That you have the culture, biological and linguistic knowledge.
Yeah.
It is. It isn't only biological. That you put it together and see it in a holistic way.
Yes.
So, and we see we have challenges also. We haven't so many resources, so we see it's come more and more investors from the southern part and want to use our traditional land for windmills. And windmills can be good for other indigenous communities, but for us, we see it, they destroy the land. And if we not have land where we can use the practical and cultural knowledge, what then?
Right.
Because it's connected to land.
And also, so like the mining.
Mining.
The mining, and also there's a new proposal for this railroad to have trains go all the way into the Sapmi, right?
Norway to Tromsø.
Yeah.
But if you want to protect your land, you have to have knowledge, deeper knowledge. So it's we have also had a project with some local communities because we see that if we don't have strong local communities, then it's very hard for us to be an education and research institution. So we have to empower and go to them and try them to have gatherings, talk about the skills they have, and articulate it much more. Because we have had a way we don't talk about it. It has been in generations. You only see what you do and you do the same thing. But now we have to articulate, and because we have to protect and tell them that we have knowledge, we have skills.
Right. I think that's very important to be partners with the local communities and also to grow, to move forward, not only just for the school system itself, but also with the whole community around, the whole Sami society altogether. Thank you very much. And so I think that's very important, as you mentioned, that we have to have our strong knowledge. And with the strong knowledge, maybe the most basic part is the language. And from the language, we grow, we enhance our self-confidence, but also the sovereignty. We know what does it mean with sovereignty and self-determination. So thank you again very much for sharing with us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Kiitos.
Kiitos.